Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is lecture number 7, part 3, the muscles, actions, and the membranes. I am Dr. Karimullah, demonstrator GKMC, Anatomy Department, Swabi. The muscles, actions. The agonists, synergists, and the antagonists. The agonists are also called the prime movers. The agonists are the prime mover muscles. In this case, in an action of a group of muscles, a number of muscles are involved. But the principal involved muscle is called a prime mover or an agonist. The example is the forearm muscle, that is the biceps brachii muscle. These are the flexor muscles. There are three muscles: the biceps brachii, the coracobrachialis, and the brachialis muscle. In this group, the biceps is the prime mover in flexion of the forearm at the elbow. Forearm flexion at the elbow. Then the synergists. The synergists are muscles which assists the agonistic muscles. That is the agonistic muscle of the biceps brachii muscle. In this case, will be the brachialis muscle, which is also a flexor muscle of the forearm at the elbow. It is also called the stabilizer muscle. It stabilizes the muscles at its origin. The antagonists. These are muscles which opposes the action of a prime mover. When one contracts, the opposite relaxes. The example is the biceps, which is the flexor, and the triceps, which is the extensor. The triceps, it is the antagonist of the biceps, and the biceps is the antagonist of the triceps. In the lower limb, the quadriceps and the hamstring muscle. The quadriceps are the extensors of the leg at the knee joint, and the hamstrings are the flexors of the leg at the knee joint. The hamstrings are present on the posterior side, and the quadriceps are present on the anterior side of the thigh region. The membranes. A membrane is a structure which either covers the body or an organ, or lines the cavities or hollow structures. Membranes may be of connective tissue, epithelial membranes, and serous membranes. The connective tissue membranes formed from connective tissue. Their function is to encapsulate an organ, that is the kidneys. They lines the joint capsules, and the fibrous layer of the pericardium are the examples. The epithelial membrane. Skin is the most important example of the epithelial membrane, and it is attached to a layer of connective tissue inside the mucous membrane. It is a composite of connective tissue and epithelial tissue. The epithelial membranes lines body cavities, that is the CVS cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal system, the respiratory system, the genitourinary system, etc. And these are also called mucosa. The serous membranes, they lines the cavities of trunk and they reflect upon the viscera lying inside. These have parietal and visceral layers. Their examples are the peritoneum of the abdomen, which encloses the intestines, and some organs are inside the peritoneum, and but some are outside the peritoneum. They are called the extraperitoneal structures. Then the pericardium and the pleura. In all these three cases of the serous membranes, there used to be a parietal or peripheral layer and a visceral layer which is in intimate contact with the viscera they cover. And in between these two layers, there used to be a cavity. In case of peritoneal membrane, the cavity is called the peritoneal cavity. In case of the pericardial membrane, the cavity is called pericardial cavity. And in case of the pleural membrane, the parietal and the visceral pleura, in between these two layers is the pleural cavity which surrounds the lungs. In these diagrams, the examples of cutaneous membrane, that is the skin, and the mucous membrane which lines the hollow viscera, and the example of serous membranes which encloses the visceral organs which have the parietal and the visceral layers. I told you previously that the visceral layer is in intimate contact and the parietal layer lies outside toward the periphery, and there used to be a dead space in between the two that is called the cavity. In case of peritoneum, the peritoneal cavity. In case of the pericardium, the pericardial cavity, and in case of the pleura, the pleural cavity around the lungs. Thank you, dear students. With this, we finished the topic of muscles and the membranes. I hope you would have followed me. Thank you very much.